Well, hello, my beautifuls. How are you? I see OBS is messing with me. Welcome to our live broadcast. And today there has been a major update in Madeline's Soto, her case. And so we're just going to be talking about that a little bit. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Madeline's case, but this is something I was just like, what? All right. So I'm going to give you just a brief rundown, and then we're going to listen to the presser that was just held like a few hours ago. So Madeline, she just turned 13, you guys. Let's get over here. This is Madeline. She just had her birthday, and she celebrated her 13th birthday on February 22nd. And then she goes missing on the 26th. Okay? So Sunday, this is her timeline. Sunday, February 25th, Madeline Soto's 13th birthday celebration. Hello, everyone. Hi, Laura. Candy Wrapper, good to see you. You say you're praying for this poor young lady? Yes, me too. Hi, Crime on a Dime. Hi, Laura. Aw is here. Nettie is here. Robin Davis Ducksworth. Hello, hello. You're going to hear my velociraptors. This is a live. I'm not going to be editing any more lives. I just feel like it's a waste of time. And we are ourselves. I'm just over the people pleasing. I am here to do a job. So today it is sad news, but we need to get the awareness out there because of the fact we need some laws changed. Okay? One is going to be that a school should, in my opinion, be mandatory to report a child missing at first roll call. But we're going to get into that. And that's the main reason I'm going after this case so hardcore. Because I am tired of the systems that should be in place to protect our children are just thrown askew and molded as if it's, they can set whatever rules they want. I'm just saying. All right. So on Sunday, February 25th, Madeline Soto's 13th birthday celebration. She had just turned 13 and she celebrated with her family on Sunday, February 25th. Her mother, Jennifer Soto, told Fox News in an interview earlier this week. Quote, she was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday. When she went to bed, she was so happy, said Jen Soto. At that time, Jen Soto said there wasn't a moment in the day that her daughter was having conversations on her phone or laptop or making plans for Monday. I think they mean there wasn't a moment in the day that her daughter wasn't having conversations, because worded that way, it doesn't work. So that is her birthday. And that is going to be a very hard place for her mother going forward. It's heartbreaking, you guys. Wild Man's mom says, God, please stop these monsters who seek out our children as prey. Amen. Lisa, our children don't have much of a chance with these adults. Shannon Shipley, hello. You say the mom is sus too? Jenny Troglam made it. Welcome. Hi, Natural Healing. Hey, Hunt, how are you? You say the laws of children are very wish-washy or weak. I agree. Hey, Tickety Boo. How you been, lovely? Great to see you. All right, let's get back into this. So, Monday, February 26th, Madeline Soto was less than 8:30 a.m. Didn't make it to school. So there was this story that the narrative had been laid out from what they had gathered at that point, but there has been an update that changes this all. However, before today, our knowledge was that she had been dropped off approximately a block or two from the school and was seen in a very fuzzy footage on CCTV church footage, a security cam at the church, that allegedly she was sitting there and it appeared as though she was waiting for someone or just sitting there and then she walked off the camera. But Ellie doesn't believe that's true at all because of what you're going to find out in a minute. So they even stated at this time it remains unclear why she was dropped off at this location, but Sheriff Mina says it's a possibility she was embarrassed of the vehicle she was in and asked her mom's boyfriend to be dropped off at this location. So by Tuesday, they're in a full-blown search because she never made it to school. So the mom goes to pick her up, Jen goes to pick her up at school on Monday afternoon, and no daughter. So she thinks, well, maybe she's at my mom's business, which is just a little ways from there. Maybe Madeline walked over there to her grandmother's business. So she goes over there allegedly, and then it's like this is all happening around 4:30. I don't know what happens till 8 o'clock at night, but finally a missing report is called in. Tuesday, February 27th, I mean, this has been full-blown posters, dogs. This is Orange County. This is a huge county. And they had over 100 personnel from deputies, detectives, specialists, bloodhounds, intelligence analysts, all were out searching for Madeline. Now, here is her missing child alert. Her body has not been found. But this gets really, really dark. So trigger warning. I'm going to tell you, I get a lot of complaints about the goat because it's too loud for people. So I'm not going to scream it real loud, but I'm going to tell you as our trigger warning, this is your moment to mute if you don't want to hear the goat. See, you have your own buttons. That's how it works. All right, here we go. That is your trigger warning because this is going to get dark. So there's a Zoom meeting here, and I should do this real quick because I don't want to get in trouble. Here we go. You're probably going to hear my son playing piano in the background. All right. So, fair use disclaimer invoked. He comes and I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get a copyright, and I will. I know how this works. During this interview of the mother, okay, this is Jen being interviewed, whatever he is, I don't know if he is, I guess we'll call him boyfriend. The suspect boyfriend loudly puts his chair down, and in the background of this video, he's popping his knuckles, and he's like trying to be intimidating as F. Okay? It's really absurd. Like, I can't even concentrate on the interview because he's trying to intimidate, I believe, the mother. So my question is, did she know something already at this point? I don't believe she was part of the crime, but maybe she was getting suspicious. That's something wasn't right. Okay. So, Wednesday afternoon, February 28th, Orange County Sheriff John Mina hosts a press conference about the ongoing search, stating this is every parent's worst nightmare. We can't even imagine the pain and anguish that Madeline's family is going through, Sheriff Mina said. We will not stop until we find her. In this update, Sheriff Mina revealed that Madeline Soto had left her phone at home on Monday, the day of her disappearance. When the deputies searched, they also learned that Soto had told her friends that she, quote, wanted to live in the woods after her 13th birthday, triggering a search in the woods area behind Hunters Creek Middle School. Quote, we don't know if she was taken. We don't know if she has stepped away. She left her phone at the house, Sheriff Mina said. Quote, that's why we're putting all this effort into it. That's why we're doing this press conference in hopes that someone from the public may have saw something. It might have seemed like no big deal at the time. But now, knowing that what Madeline looks like, maybe there's some new information that can help us find her whereabouts. So we jump forward to that night. All of a sudden, boom, Mom's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, gets arrested on an unrelated charge and also named prime suspect in Madeline Soto's case. He gets arrested on charges, and he's named the prime suspect in the teen's disappearance since he was the last one to have seen her on Monday morning. Stearns was arrested and booked into Orange County Jail on charges including sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material after detectives found, quote, disturbing images on his phone. The Orange County Sheriff's Office said. They also said Stearns allegedly tried to delete the evidence from his phone. Yes, stop right there. He actually tried to do a factory reset on the day that Madeline was seen last. Okay? Detectives said that digital forensics unit discovered images and videos that were, quote, criminal and sexual in nature. These alleged crimes were committed at their family home in Kissimmee, and the Kissimmee Police Department was notified immediately. Here is this Stephen Stearns. Okay? He is he is charged, booked, whatever, of sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material after detectives found disturbing images on his phone. And let me tell you, these are pictures or whatever, this possession of child sexual abuse material is within his home where Madeline is living. It's taking place from within the home. It's not like some child abuse material outside of the home. It's within the home. The Kissimmee Police Department is on the lead on the sexual battery case, working alongside the Orange County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division. When Stearns was brought into Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations, he was interviewed by both Kissimmee Police and OCSO detectives. He invoked his right to an attorney and was placed under arrest. He refused to talk. Quote, Stephen Stearns, or Stephen, however you want to do potato today, had an opportunity tonight to come clean with detectives and help lead them into information about Maddie's disappearance, Sheriff John Mina said on Wednesday. Quote, her loved ones deserve answers, and OCSO and Kissimmee Police will not stop until we find Maddie. Thursday, February 29th, Kissimmee Police Department releases Stephen Stearns' arrest affidavit, which we can dig into later at a different time if you would like. Let me know. If I get, I'd say 250 likes, that's when I know it's worth us continuing into this and looking at the police reports. The document said that during officials' interview with Stephen regarding Madeline Soto's disappearance, he provided consent to search his phone, but did say he, quote, accidentally performed a factory reset on his phone that day. The same day, Madeline Soto was last seen. When officials reviewed Stearns' phone, they found several photos and videos depicting children in sexual acts. Uh-oh. It happened again. It says it ended. Why would it be doing that, you guys? Give me a one if I'm still alive. We got to play this game today. I'll have to wait. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me check on my other phone. Let me see if I can check over here. I hope it didn't end my live. Um, technical difficulties. Please, one moment. Okay. All right, there's the ones. It froze. It was so weird. Let's continue. Thank you for your patience. Thursday, February 29th, body language expert assesses Steven Stern's body language in Zoom interview with Jen Soto. Remember all that I told you about him slamming the chair down, cracking his knuckles, all this? Susan Constantine, there it is. Susan Constantine. Remember, it's alive, you guys. A human behavior investigator joined Fox 35 on Thursday to discuss Steven Stern's body language during his appearance in the Zoom interview with his girlfriend and Madeline Soto's mother, Jen Soto. Constantine, who had aided law enforcement in dozens of high-profile investigations across the country, shed some light on Stearns, who is seen on the video fidgeting with his hands and cracking his knuckles. Quote, that's a way to release tension, Constantine said. Quote, the point is tension is one of the 27 points of interest that can lead to a possible deception or suspect behavior. Constantine added that Stearns is, quote, presenting to me suspect behavior. Quote, sheriff's office, you need to take a really good look at this guy. And they do. Friday morning, March 1st. That's today. Steven Stearns dodges questions from Fox 35 while being transferred from Orange County to Osceola County. And I know grammar police are going to come in, hit me because I didn't say Osceola perfectly, but we all have a different accent, and so I don't want to be yelled at. Okay, you guys, let's take a moment. Just take a breather, come up for air. I know, right? Wild Man's mom says, I thought you blocked me last time it did that. No, I don't block people unless you're absurdly rude to people. Laura says, all these babies being murdered at the hands of those they trust. This is heartbreaking. God, it truly is. So you guys, the school did not call in person to be like, your daughter did not make it to school today and we're in first hour and she wasn't at roll call. No, it was a robot call that gets placed after 4 p.m. in the day to the parent's listed number. That's it. So, I mean, what in the hell? How is that going to give you a jump start? What is wrong with that school? They damn sure better get their law changed after this, because if I was that parent, and I'm not a sue happy person, but I'll tell you what, I would take the government that's funding that school to court. And I would demand that the payment be that all schools nationwide get that law changed. My school, where my kids went to school, which my youngest graduated last year, I knew by 9:30 in the morning at the latest if my kid wasn't in that school. And I know I'm in a small school. And it could be a robocall, but at least by 9:30. Just saying. All right, Dixie Bishop wants an update on this case, and I agree, so let me get this out of here. All right, my lovelies, this is the update. Let's get busy here. I'm going to mute so that you can hear it good. And I've got it as loud as I can get it, I believe. Yes, it's boosted, y'all. Okay, I've got it as boosted as I can. Aw, Jenny Traglin, 28 months. I love you, Danny and family. I love you too, Jenny Jen and Jennyville. Holler big time at school board, natural healing. I feel you. A text or a call would work. Bonafide troublemaker. Demon Dog says, woof, this stuff is hard to watch. I just want to look away and go somewhere else. But that leaves me ignorant and real. I know. It gets too real, you guys. Yeah, this is going to get real. I love you guys. Um, I do want to say we're going to end it after this. Um, when we're done, we'll come back up and chit chat. But I mean, at the very end, we are going to give 3 minutes of silence. So I will not be playing my music at the end of this. I will simply just leave the screen on her thumbnail for 3 minutes. I want us to take a good, long, hard look at this child, and I want you to call your school today and ask them if your child is not in attendance on roll call, what time do they inform you? What are their rules? Not what time that you get the call, but what are the rules? Because that needs to be handled, and we each have to do it within our own county and our own school system. And so that's how we start with making this change. Okay, you guys, I'll be right back up to chat with you all in just a few minutes. Remember, after this, we're going to be going on another live at 4 o'clock, and that is going to be about the Idaho boar case. And is there a third survivor? Is there an unknown survivor? Because there's a lot of boo boo boos going around on YouTube Street, a lot of people whispering, and I'm starting to really question. I heard from a very reliable source, Unfiltered Lucky, that he has got some information, and I want to go over that because if it's true, it's mind blowing. All right. But back over here to Madeline Soto 13. Here is the update. All right. Trigger warning for this. It is suppressor and it is harsh. Here we go. Hold on a minute. Let's try it again. All right, guys. Ready to go.
From the reporting by Wesh. Here is the sheriff. Let's listen in.
So thank you for being here. We have some important developments in this case that we want to share with our community. I wish we were here to tell you that we have found Madeline, but we have not found her. Last night, detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department met with Madeline's mother, and they had to tell her the very devastating news that although we have not found Madeline, we are now confident that she is dead. So our efforts will be focused on recovering Madeline. Dozens and dozens of detectives, crime analysts, and specialized team members have been working nonstop and following up on every single lead and every shred of evidence. Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephen Stearns returning to the complex and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time. As a result of that, although the initial missing persons investigation started in Orange County, the Kissimmee Police Department will now be taking over the investigation and will become the lead agency. And of course, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, all of our support personnel will be available and will still be assisting in this investigation. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Holland from the Kissimmee Police Department. Chief?
Thanks.
All right, you guys. So it just takes your breath away. Wild Man's mom says all things children should have above all is a chance to live and have a family of their own. Bonafide Troublemaker says, I'm so glad I caught you live. I get excited to be here despite the bad news. Demon Dog says, you do great stuff, but I need to go somewhere else. Tired of these child crimes. I will watch your next live. All right, love. I totally respect that. Um, in order to get this resolved, okay, we have to look at where we're failing our kids. Number one, right now, that we could make a change on right away is, like I said, contact your local school, find out what the regulations are on notifying parents if the child is not in roll call in the morning. And if they're not, if their rule is unclear, you can go to your board meetings and this can be voted on and changed. So that is something that we can all take a step forward so that we're not giving the shade, the evil side, the wicked side, this huge jump start. Okay, so I'm just taken back by this. Okay, you guys, are you ready? Candy Wrapper says, yeah, Mama D, it did the same thing to me and told me your live was over. I had to go out and reboot and come back in. I know. I know. The more I do the Idaho 4 case, the more my YouTube channel has a tough time. All right, let's get back into this, you guys. I'll mute and we'll continue.
Thank you for being here. As Sheriff Mina said, this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and there is a lot of additional information that we cannot release at this time. I do want to note that Stephon Stearns was transported from the Orange County Jail to the Osceola County Jail, where he is being held on capital sexual battery charges filed by the Kissimmee Police detectives. Right now, our top priority is recovering Madeline. We are still appealing to our community for its help in this case. Please share this crime line bulletin on my right of Stephen Stearns. He was last seen driving a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ. The Florida tag is IYLL82. On Monday, February 26th, between 1 and 2:30 p.m. in the area of State Road 192 and Old Hickory Tree Road, as well as Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road. During this time frame, it is believed that Stearns had a flat tire and might have been seen changing the tire in this area. If anyone saw this vehicle or noticed anything suspicious, we're asking that they call Crime Line. We will continue to work tirelessly with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and St. Cloud Police Departments to bring a resolution to this case and recover Maddie. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chief. We'll take some.
Okay, they're going to get into questions here. And unlike a lot of the times when you think of like the Idaho 4 case where the questions were not answered, we're going to hear some very serious answers. And what he's about to share with you is that they don't believe that Maddie was ever at that church, okay? So then the question I would have is, well, we'll just get into it here. We'll get into it here. Nettie says, I agree 100% the school's waiting to call until after school delays, searches, if need be. Correct. All says, yes, only action in masses will create change for these innocent children. Amen, says Jenny. All right, my loves, here we go. Let's get back into it.
Questions, but just remember, we're still in the middle of this investigation. There's a lot of things that we cannot reveal.
Has Stearns told him anything yet? Has Stearns spoken to anybody yet?
No, Stearns has not spoken to anyone.
Is there any possible specifics that you can give us as to what leads you to believe that she is definitively deceased?
The video evidence that we have.
Is it about just the position of her body, the way?
So we're not going to go into those exact details, but we have video evidence that leads us to believe that she's already dead.
Sheriff, there's been a lot of things that you just laid out here just now. This location in the afternoon, is there a belief, are we trying to figure out, I know you're requesting video surveillance in that area, are you trying to figure out whether she was still with this car at that time?
Yeah, so it could be helpful to us if people saw something, and obviously we're searching many different areas, but if someone saw something in that area, we want to know about it.
Is that an area you've already searched?
What's that?
Where this car supposedly had a flat, is that an area you've already searched?
So we actually have people searching areas right now. So they've searched a bunch of different areas, and they're going to continue to search. So I don't want to go into specifics on exactly where. I don't want to miss something.
Jerry, the Madeline
morning
Moore
of
is
February
cooperating with the
26th, did
investigation?
she leave the house?
One more time. I'm
Did
sorry.
she leave the house? Was she, at that time, did you believe that she was, did she leave the house on her own?
So what I'll say is what I already said is that we believe he moved her body in those early morning hours, and all that is still under investigation.
Jerry, the Madeline Moore is cooperating with the investigation?
Yes, we're talking to the mother. Yes.
She's not considered a suspect.
So we're talking to the mother and all this. There's, to my knowledge, she's not a suspect in this case right now.
You had mentioned that he dropped some items in the dumpster. Did you recover those?
That's correct. So from the dumpster, we recovered her backpack and her school-issued laptop.
Sheriff, do we believe that I know that you're piecing things together with different portions of video. Is it the department's belief that she was killed at the house?
It's our belief that she was killed in Kissimmee and that he moved her body. And so that's why the Kissimmee Police Department is the lead investigators now.
As for messages that you'd said that Madeline might have sent about living in the woods when she turned 13, are you questioning whether those were actually sent by her rather than someone else?
Yeah, that's all part of the investigation, so we haven't determined that yet.
Have you been in touch with Madeline's family? How are they taking this at this point?
Yeah, so obviously detectives have spoken to her mother, and as you can imagine, the reaction that any parent would have.
So this is transitioned from a disappearance investigation to a murder investigation headed up by the Kissimmee Police Department.
That is correct. It is transitioned to a homicide investigation, and the Kissimmee Police Department will be the lead agency in that investigation.
At this point, any new charges?
We're still investigating it.
I have a question for you, Chief, regarding new charges, because we noticed there's an additional charge for sex battery on a victim under the age of 12. Are you continuing to go through his phone and find more evidence?
The detectives are continuing the investigation, and as more evidence comes up, there may be more charges in the future.
Is it believed that Madeline was a victim in that, as part of that investigation?
That's still all part of the investigation, and I don't want to say right now.
What about the church footage that somebody mentioned that she was seen wearing she was seen at the church?
So yes, we reviewed that footage. It was very grainy. We weren't able to determine that was her, but like I said, we know that she was never dropped off at school that morning.
Are you assigning extra personnel to this case over the weekend? Are searches continuing?
That's correct. Searches are continuing as we speak. And so, like I said, we have people who are working nonstop. And so every lead that comes in, every piece of evidence that we receive, we're going to follow up on that. And if that leads us to a new search area, we'll be out all weekend.
Everybody good?
I think we're good.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Sheriff.
Well, so you're now up to speed. But my question is, has he done this to someone else, another child? Because under the age of 12, Madeline was turning 13. So she was already 12. So now I'm like, what? Did y'all catch that? Yes, Sassy, I did start early. We're going to have a back-to-back double live today. So this is titled Never Made It to School. And it's an update on Madeline Soto, who is presumed dead by law enforcement. And so we're going over some things. And for those that are just joining new, I mean, it's early in the case. But one takeaway from me, I'm going to repeat it. So if you've already heard me say it, I apologize. But that is that the school, in Madeline's case, sent a robo call out after 4 p.m. after school to the mother to let her know that the child did not attend school. And obviously, if your child is abducted prior to school or something happens prior to school, that is giving this predator or whatever's happened an 8 hour, if not a 9 hour head start. And so, what I'm asking you guys to do in remembrance of Madeline, call your school. Even if you don't have school kids, call your school and ask them and say, what are your regulations? What does your paperwork show? What are the rules on reporting to a parent? What's the timeline of when that kid doesn't show up for roll call in the morning? Now, our school always called me over 25 years. I had a call by 9:30, and it was always a human because I'm in a small school district. But I'm not saying it would save Madeline's life. I understand that. I get it. They are alleging that he was already moving her body early that morning, is what they suspect. So she may have been killed even that night. We don't know. I do have some reservations on the mother, simply because the timeline of the death would have been within the home, and I haven't heard yet what her alibi is. And until I find out more, I can't draw a conclusion either way. So I have a lot of questions, right? Hi, Herman. Good afternoon to you. Hey, Karen Guy. She says hello. She says, hi, beautifuls. Hi, Shrimp. So sad. I agree. Zonia Pride. Hello, lovely. Yvonne Smith. You agree with Summer Snow? What did Summer Snow say? I got to back it up. Back it up. I don't even see. I don't see it. Sassy says, yeah, I get those robocalls around 5 p.m. if my son misses school or was late to one of those classes that day. Oh, my. That's a failure in the system. The whole point of the call is to let you know that your child is unaccounted for. Like, the child is not here. So you wouldn't even be able to, oh my God, I can't even. The school called the parents by 9 a.m., says June Coggins. Not according to this. And she wasn't even reported missing until 8 p.m. June, if you have a link for us, I'll share it with everybody that says differently. But at this point, law enforcement and everybody has been doing these reports. And I could be completely wrong, but to the best of my knowledge, y'all, the school called after 4 p.m. That's what I heard. I'm just saying, where was Mommy in the morning? Where was Mommy when this happened? And until I know, I can't let go of it. Wild Man's mom is blowing my mind. I'm in Florida, and that's what we're talking about here. And our school's robocalls or after school office is closed at 4 or 5 p.m. So you can't talk to anybody? You cannot call the office and be like, where the hell is my kid? Holy crap. I don't even see Summer Snow. Why can I not see Summer Snow? Like, I literally cannot see Summer Snow. I have no idea why. Oh, letting boyfriends take these kids to school? Well, I'll be honest. I was with the same man, a boyfriend, for 8 years. And he not only took my kids to school, but he picked them up. So I can't fault the parents for that unless that boyfriend has a criminal history or is behaving suspicious toward your children. But if everything appears in order, how are you supposed to have? You can't be everywhere. If you're at work and your boyfriend is at home and the child needs to go to school and the bus doesn't come or they miss the bus, if you are having that person, and it goes for stepmoms and girlfriends and stepdads too, if you're trusting that person to live in your home, then I would think you should be able to trust them to go to school or take the kids anywhere. I even had my boyfriend down as emergency contact backup to me because I knew he would get in contact with me as soon as something happened to my kids. And he was a very decent man. We split up because we both had different interests in life. Make it match, people. Wildfire, you're cute. She said 71 watching, 48 likes. Make it match, people. Demon Dog said, came back to say that after first class rule, if a kid is not their parents, should be called ASAP, in my opinion. I absolutely agree 100%. And that could be a bona fide troublemaker. You say, I have a feeling she was working and he was not. And the mother could have been at work, you guys. But until I find out, I'm like, what? Says 8 years is different. How long were they dating in my first question? Good question. Right, right. Wild Man's mom says, can't be expected to never have a relationship with anyone until the kids are grown. I didn't drag men into my kid's life, but it wasn't dead because I was dating. I agree. I'm a single mom. All my children are adults, 18 or older now. And Quentin, my middle one, he'll, on 5 more days, he'll be 21. So, in that, I will say, yes, I allowed my boyfriend, who was long-term in our life, I mean, we shared car loans together. We were, everything but married. And I don't know. I didn't even think twice about trusting him with my kids. And I'll tell you this much. And this is a little personal, but I'm being guided to share it. And I'm going to say it low so my boys can't hear because they don't need to be reminded. Their father is sitting in prison for homicide. So the boyfriend in my situation was much more trustworthy. Oh, I will tell him you said happy birthday, Wild Man's mom. Hey, Pin Dizzy, been a long time. What time is it? Oh, you guys, I got to jump off here. I love you guys. I love you. And, all we can do is each case try to pull the good out of it. And the good is that, well, hell, there is no damn good. Bless her little heart. I mean, God only knows the hell this baby went through. Shit. All right, you guys. I love you. To the moon and back. Let's try to make some changes. Call your school. Make sure and get to those board meetings if that's the only board meeting you make. Because if your child is abducted or something happens to your child and they don't tell you for 8 or 9 hours, you're going to wish to God you'd pick that phone up. I love you guys. To the moon and back.